What's going on, everyone? UFC 322 is upon us, which means we need to go through the entire card and break down all of the fights. We have a lot to go through, so without further ado, let's just get right into it. First fight I want to talk about on the prelims, we have Chepe Mariscal taking on Pat Sabatini. Chepe Mariscal is known as a bit of a dog. He's a bit of a brawler. He's got good striking, got good grappling, and he's extremely tough. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have Pat Sabatini, who's mainly known for his grappling. He's extremely grapple heavy, and I don't think that's going to work against a dog like Chepe Mariscal. Mariscal's not going to put himself in uncomfortable positions. He's going to know how to evade it. He's going to stay to his striking, and he's going to hunt for a KO, and I think he's probably going to get it. Chepe Mariscal via KO or TKO is my pick for this fight. Next up, a pretty interesting women's fight. We have Erin Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. A lot of people are going to be rooting for Cortez in this matchup, but she's going to have her work cut out for her. Erin Blanchfield has pretty shit striking, if we're all honest, but her grappling is very, very good. And Tracy Cortez, she has a decent mix of striking and grappling, but I don't think she excels in anywhere enough to have her win against Blanchfield, to be honest. I don't think she has anywhere where she can win this fight. And with Blanchfield, yeah, I know her striking isn't good. She's definitely not going to get a KO here. I think her grappling can kind of win her this fight. I think she can overtake Tracy in a lot of exchanges. I think she can dominate positions. And then, as most women's MMA fights go to the judge's scorecard and get her hand raised in the end. Moving up the prelims, we now have Roman Kopylov taking on Gregory RoboCop Rodriguez. This is a pretty fun one at middleweight. Two guys that I honestly don't think are very good, to be honest with you. Just two fun strikers that are going to make for a fun fight. I'm going to give the edge to Gregory Rodriguez here. I think, not that he's much better than Roman Kopylov. I think Kopylov's probably the better technical striker. Gregory's just more of a dog, and I think this is going to be a bloody fight. I think this is going to be who is stronger, who's tougher, and I back Gregory Rodriguez in that department. I think his grit is going to get him through this one. I don't know if he's going to get a finish. I just don't think he's going to get finished, and he can probably get his hand raised in the end. Next up, we have Bo Nickel taking on Rodolfo Vieira. Bo Nickel failed the test against RDR, so they've given him an absolute layup. Rodolfo Vieira, he's known for his grappling. Okay, who cares? Bo's probably not even going to take him down. He's probably going to strike with him, and he's probably going to find a KO. Cherry-picked matchup for Bo Nickel. This isn't what they needed to do for him. They needed to give him another good name, and they just didn't. They gave him this. He's going to win pretty easily, and it's not very interesting. Now on to an absolutely loaded main card. I mean, this card is absolutely stacked. I can almost guarantee you I'm not going 5 for 5 for picks here. Extremely tough fights to predict. But kicking us off, we have a fight at 155. Benoit Saint Denis is taking on Beneil Dariush. And yeah, I'm torn on this one. You have a guy in Benoit Saint Denis who got absolutely worked by Renato Moicano, came back and kind of beat dudes. It wasn't all that interesting, to be honest with you. So he's back in the mix, and he's looking to beat a aging veteran in Beneil Dariush. But Dariush himself is not done yet, as we saw when he fought Renato Moicano. And if you want to do MMA math, Beneil Dariush is definitely winning this one. But that's not always a good way to look at fights, and styles make matchups. But in this case, it kind of works for me because I'm going to be taking Beneil Dariush. I think Beneil's grappling is still very good, and I think the only guys that can really give Beneil issue at this point are just either guys who have extreme KO power or just extremely high-level dudes. And I'm not sure Benoit Saint Denis has either one of those traits, to be honest. I think BSD's good. I just don't know if he's great. And I think in a matchup like this against Beneil, I just don't see where he wins the fight. I don't think he can win it in the grappling, and I don't think he's got the KO power to put Beneil away unless he's just able to catch him. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe Benoit wins this fight. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but I just think Beneil Dariush is going to use his experience against high-level dudes to get the win here. Now on to a fun one at 170. Leon Edwards is taking on Carlos Prates. This is an extremely tough fight to predict. I mean, look at Leon Edwards. It's a guy who looked like shit in his last fight against Sean Brady. Let's keep it real. But he's got a point to prove here, and he finally gets to fight a dude that's going to want to strike with him. Leon's been forced to fight grappler after grappler, and he himself is a striker. So finally, he gets to fight somebody on the feet in Carlos Prates without having to worry about the threat of a takedown. which could be a very good and bad thing for him because he may want to rely on his striking so much that he focuses way too much on it and forgets about his grappling. Or he may be able to use his striking to his advantage to set up his grappling and dominate the fight from there. Either way, he's going to have his work cut out for him because Carlos Prates is a dog. He has ridiculous power and a pretty good cardio for a dude who smokes as much as he does. So I think this is going to be a tough fight for Leon either way. So yeah, Leon looks like he's on a skid right now. He's lost a couple of fights and he doesn't look like he's improving very much. Meanwhile, we look at Carlos Prates and he is improving. He is getting better. Of course, he lost to Ian Gary in a fight where he was dominated for most of it, but he almost won that in the end. So at the end of the day, you have to look at it like that. And yeah, Leon Edwards has a lot of skills. I think his striking is very good and he's very underrated coming into this fight. A lot of people are going to pick Prates, and I think Leon stands a really good chance at winning this, especially if he can establish his striking and actually show success on the feet, because we know he's not going to be out-grappled by Prates. So if he can establish dominance in both areas of the fight, I don't see why he can't win easily on the judges' scorecards. I don't see him getting a finish, but I think he could definitely win by that. However, it just all seems like a fairy tale for me, to be honest. I think Carlos Prates is going to win this fight. I think the power is going to be too much. I think the bright lights at MSG, it's going to make Leon want to strike. He's going to want to get comfortable on the feet, and he's going to lead right into Carlos Prates' traps. Carlos, he has the power to do it. Yeah, we haven't seen Leon finish a lot in his career, but I think it finally happens at MSG. Carlos Prates via KO. That's going to be my pick. Next up, we have another banger going down at 170. Sean Brady versus Michael Morales. We have Brady, who's been on an absolute tear. He's in his prime looking for the title. And we have Michael Morales, a surging phenom, undefeated, looking to make for a name for himself at the top of the division. This is a tough fight to predict once again, probably even tougher than the Leon Prates fight, to be honest, because you have Brady, a guy who is such a good grappler. I mean, I can't stress it enough. Look what he did to Leon. Look what he's done in previous fights. The dude is serious. The dude is top tier, and he's a threat for anyone in the division. But then you look at a guy like Michael Morales, who just flows so easily on his feet, in and out of the pocket. The dude is amazing to watch, and he's so high level and so technical. So it makes you believe that if anybody's going to get the job over a guy like Brady, it might be him. But that's just easier said than done. And I think Sean Brady's grappling is too much for anybody in the division. I mean, even look at Morales' fight with Gilbert Burns, a 40-year-old Gilbert Burns. Burns was having success in the grappling in that fight. And if Burns can do that to you, what makes you think Brady can? Brady's grappling, I think, is just going to be too much. And overall, I just think this fight's coming a little too soon for Michael Morales. He'll be back. He's really young, but right now is Sean Brady's time. He's in his prime, and he needs a win here to claim his spot for a shot at the title. Now on to the co-main event, the best female mixed martial arts fight of all time. Yes, I said it, because it is. Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. We have two women at the peak of their powers. Yeah, I would say Weili's much more in her prime than Valentina, but Valentina is still very good and still at the top of her game. I mean, they're both holding titles. It's a chance for Weili to become a double champ here. It's an extremely exciting fight. Probably the most excited I've ever been for a women's MMA matchup. Zhang Weili, extremely technical, extremely good everywhere, on the feet, on the ground. She's game. She can be a problem for anyone. And then you have Valentina, who's pretty much the exact same thing. I mean, her striking's awesome. Lately, she's been grappling much more, and she's been using her grappling a lot, so she's very good there as well. I think this fight, we're going to see everything. We're going to see striking. We're going to see grappling. We're going to see women both have their moments. We're going to see Valentina use her grappling that we've seen recently and her strength and her bigger size to try and control Weili. While I think Weili's going to be light on her feet, dipping in and out of the pocket and trying to pick her shots. And I think she's also going to implement some of her grappling too, because she loves to wrestle and she's very good at it. So we're going to see a bit of everything here. Now, who do I think is actually going to win? I think I'm going to pick Zhang Weili. And the reason I'm going to pick Weili is because I think she is a little bit more in her prime, and I think this is a big moment for her. I think she's going to fight a Valentina here who has had some shaky moments in her recent fights. I mean, of course, she lost to Alexa Grasso. She avenged that loss, so that's fine. I won't harp on it too much. But then she had the fight with Manon Fiorot. She did dominate there and did look good, but you just can't run off of that. She hasn't looked as dominant as Zhang Weili, as Weili's been running through the women in her division, and Valentina just hasn't. Yeah, that's kind of stupid reasoning to pick somebody to win, but it's the only one I can really go off of. I mean, I'm literally saying this is the best women's mixed martial arts fight of all time. So, I mean, but obviously both of them are going to be good, and anybody can win. But if I had to pick somebody, I'm going to pick Weili. Don't see a finish here. Somebody's going to win by decision, and I think it might be Zhang Weili. Now, lastly, but certainly not least, we have the main event, the big one, Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena. Once again, another extremely tough fight to predict, but if I had to do it, I'm backing Islam Makhachev. I think JDM poses a threat in a lot of areas of this fight. His striking is top tier, not much better. His striking is top tier. You can't get much better. And his grappling is going to have improved. I mean, after working with Craig Jones and Team Volkanovski for this fight, his grappling definitely improved. But how much did it improve? How much is he going to do in this fight? How much is he going to be able to defend? What is he going to be able to defend? How's he going to stop Islam? These are all questions that need to be asked. And honestly, I'm not sure if he can answer them. I don't know if he can beat Islam. I don't know if he can stop the takedowns and he can stop the relentless pressure. I'm not sure of it. I know he can strike with him. I think if this fight stays on the feet, JDM is going to have a ton of success. But I don't know if it is going to stay on the feet. I think Islam is going to take Jack down, and I'm not sure if he can get back up. Because we saw in the JDM and Bilal fight that JDM was taken down by Bilal. And yeah, he was able to get back up, but he was taken down a lot. And with a guy like Islam, who I think is a much better wrestler than Bilal, I think if he gets taken down, he's not going to be able to get back up. That's just going to be domination and control, and that's going to be looking good for the judges. And I think that's how Islam's going to win this fight. I think it's going to be super high level. I think both guys are going to have their moments, but I think Islam's wrestling is going to take over. I think it's going to dominate, and he's going to be able to win like that. I don't think he's going to be able to finish Jack because Jack is going to be tough. He's going to be really tough to put away. So I don't see that happening, but I do see Islam edging him out on the judges' scorecards. Probably a 3-2, something really close. But yeah, I think Islam wins this fight. I think Jack is good, but I just don't think he's good enough. And he's the guy that's going to be the one to stop Islam. Well, there you guys have it. Those are my official predictions for UFC 322. Thank you all for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. That will help me out a ton. Also, be on the lookout for more videos just like this one. I'm going to have a ton of videos coming out this week for UFC 322. If you want some betting tips and some picks for that, be on the lookout for that. I'm going to make a betting video later on in the week closer to the card. So thank you all for watching this video.